Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. We are back with another What's Sold on eBay video. This is a few days of sales in my eBay stores. Hopefully you saw the title or the thumbnail or whatever and it gave you an idea of how much it was. It's definitely more of a bread and butter style of sales, but that kind of stuff is stuff hopefully you can find. Sometimes the home runs are a little bit more rare, so you don't always find them everywhere. They're good to have in your brain to be looking out for, are the bolos, but the bread and butter stuff is the stuff you'll probably find more often. You can still make money on it. So let's go ahead. We don't want to waste too much of your time and go over what's sold. So first off, we have a Polaroid one-step 600 camera. It's sold for $25 shipped. These Polaroids used to sell for as high as $30 to a buyer called Retrospect. Some of you probably have been selling long enough to know that you could sell them for $30 shipped to Retrospect. They would buy pretty much all the Polaroid 600 cameras, but now they don't buy anymore, at least not with the same regularity, and they don't pay as much for them. This one sold not to Retrospect, but a different person for $25 shipped. I think I ended up bubble wrapping it and putting it in a padded flat rate envelope because it fit, and I got good feedback, so that worked out. We got a Farberware. This is like a little broiler power motor. I think in my last video I sold some other Farberware stuff. It's one of these like rotisserie grills. And this thing sold for 25 bucks. It powered up. I tested everything out. I've had better luck parting out those Farberwares than selling them as a complete unit. So I ended up parting this one out. Like I said, tested it out, cleaned it up. It had some dust on it and stuff, and ended up selling for 25 shipped. This one also went in a padded flat rate. We have a Panasonic theater remote control here. This one sold for $13.99. It's from the big remote buy from the vacation that I was on in July. We bought 2 boxes full of remotes, one for $20, one for $25, and we sold this little remote for $14. We've already gotten through about 40% to 50% of the remotes, so that's pretty good. Some remotes are a little bit more longer tail, but we've sold a bunch. I still haven't sold the Bose one, which is going to sell for like 65 to 70. That's the best one, and I listed mine high, but it still hasn't sold. Actually, it has sold, but they never paid. But it's still up and available, so we're going to make some pretty good money on those remotes. Don't sleep on them. This is an Audio Technica AT14S. It's like a little thing, I think, for a record player or whatever, like the little needle thing. And I bought this in a big box of electronics. I met a lady to buy video games from Facebook Marketplace. She asked if I wanted anything else, and I'm like, well, I like video games and electronics. She goes, great, I got some more stuff. I'll just bring it with me, and you can meet me we're going to meet at this gas station. So we met there, bought the video game stuff, and she had a bunch of stuff like this, and a capture card, and all kinds of stuff. And I ended up spending like an extra 150 bucks. I sold the capture card for like 100 and something like that. This sold for 120, another piece sold for 80. And then I got a couple pieces left, and I think I got a couple extra video games. So it was a good deal. It was thrown in, but this one took a best offer of 120 shipped. I did ship first class. It's a small little guy, very small, but 120 on that. Another Sony remote. I don't know if this one was from that remote buy from the vacation. Either way, it sold for 9 shipped. These Sony ones that go to DVD players and stuff, Blu-rays, they usually sell for like 8 to 10. Not a whole lot, but I still list them if they work because they're really easy to pack, easy to ship, easy to store. I'm all about, if I'm going to sell something cheap, I want to make sure it's going to be easy to ship, low cost of shipping because I'm usually free shipping, and something that I can store. I could store hundreds of remotes before I could store 100 pairs of shoes because of the size. So I don't mind having those remotes, and they're just easy little, you make $2, $3, $4 of profit on them, and it's all good. Them Again by them, I don't know what this is, some kind of CD from the Rock and Roll buy. It was listed at 19 bucks. Someone sent me a message and asked if I'd take 14, which I accepted. I sent them an offer via the message system for 14, and they accepted. 14 shipped. Cost us $2.80 to ship it out media mail, and it's on its way. An Apple II user's guide. This is from the big book buy we had. Some of you may have seen that garage sale video. Hopefully I remember to put it here as a card or whatever. I'm trying to do that, guys, but honestly, it's just time. So if I forget, just don't get on me because I'm already on myself for forgetting anyways when I go back and watch it. But I try to remember, so hopefully I'll put the card up there for that big book buy. We spent $9.50. We got a bunch of paintball guns. We got boxes, two SUV loads, a Suburban and an Expedition full of boxes of books. This is one little book in there, and it sold for 18 shipped. Golden Classics by Friends of Distinction. This was a CD from the Rock and Roll buy as well, and it sold for $12.74. This one was on a 15% off sale, so that was pretty good. This was like a little stationery book. It's the Beatles, The Yellow Submarine. It's pretty cool. It came in the Rock and Roll buy as well. I'm not sure. It's kind of a random thing that was in there, but it ended up selling for $14.99. I think it shipped out first class. It wasn't too heavy. This is a Scentsy warmer here. Got this for $5 from one of my sources. It came in a box that wasn't correct, and the foam didn't, like it was from a different thing, so the foam didn't fit right. And I brought it home, and the box tipped over, and the little chip out of the top little warming piece in the inside, you can't really see it in the photo, but I chipped it because I'm not very careful sometimes. I got to do a better job. I'm a little clumsy, I guess. But 32 shipped. They ended up selling for it as is because it had that chip. Probably would have got closer to $40, maybe 45 without the damage. Not all Scentsy warmers are equal though when it comes to value. Some are not worth a whole lot, but I found some that go for 50, 60, 70 bucks because they're a unique or a rare one. So it might be worth looking into. Also, sometimes the Scentsy Buddies, the little plush, sometimes they sell as well. Bad Company Burning Sky CD sold for 14 shipped. That was not from the Rock and Roll buy, but a different little CD buy. I think it was $5 for a stack of Rock and Roll CDs, and that one was in there. 13 shipped or 14. 5 Boys to Men CDs. 2 of them are like, I think they don't have many songs on them. They may have like 1 or 2, but the other 3 have like a full track of songs. These were from a different CD buy from a while back. Spent $70 in this whole collection. This guy had the guy unfortunately passed away, and his wife was selling them. Made her an offer. She wanted like a 50 cents or something, 3 for $1 CDs or whatever, and I ended up offering her $70 for like 4 or 5 totes of CDs plus some pocket knives and other stuff. It was a great deal, and she was happy to get rid of them. So $22.49 on those. They sold on sale. 2 pairs of socks. These are the Minions and the Jurassic Park ones. Actually, technically it should be Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park. My listing is not really accurate, but the $13.49 they sold on sale. They go first class. I have $1 in each set of socks here. I bought them from Storage Unit Guy, and I wish I would have bought the other ones. We're not going to go there though. The HP wireless printer. This one was $10 at a garage sale, brand new, sealed. Always got to be careful. It did have a little mark on it where some water apparently got the box, so I actually opened the box because I wasn't. She said it was still sealed. No one had used it. It was his daughter's, but no one used it. I still opened up the box because I saw that little water damage, but it didn't even get through the inside of the box. Everything was still sealed and in there, so I sold an open box for $125 shipped. Cost of shipping was $21 or something like that. I think it went FedEx. FedEx is definitely not too bad when it comes to shipping stuff. As long as it's not too big or too heavy, but don't be scared because FedEx still has some good prices. But $125 shipped. Remember, we spent $10. I don't remember if I got good feedback, but I did not get a return, and they've had it for quite a while now. A Tory Richard men's Hawaiian like surf shop shirt. It's an older listing, you can tell by the style. It finally sold on sale for $13.49. I want to say I paid $2 or $3 for it. I probably still made a couple bucks, but wouldn't buy it again. I'm not really buying much clothing, at least I tell myself that, and just not something I want to deal with too much. Here's an awesome one. This is a God's Word Sword Special Study Edition Bible, Topical Concordance Bible. Got this from Shop Goodwill, $31 or something with shipping and everything. It had the sword on it. You can see some of the gold etching of the sword is like starting to fade away or has been removed or whatever from where, but I knew this was going to sell. There was one listed for $100. I'm like, I'm going to pick this up because I think I've done well with Bibles like this in the past with the sword on it or some kind of prayer warrior logo on the front, and this one ended up selling for $125 shipped, so a great deal there. I got that from Shop Goodwill. The Moments, Look at Me Live at the New York State Women's Prison. I don't know what this CD is, but it was from the Rock and Roll buy, and it sold for $9.68 on sale for 15% off. A Toyota Corona, this is a chassis repair manual from the big manual buy. This one sold on the best offer of $15. It had it listed at $25. I listed a lot of these higher, some of these unique ones or kind of older ones were probably not super desirable, and I've been taking offers if they're pretty reasonable just to get some of them out of here. We've already made a ton of money on the manual buy, and I can't store everything forever, so I'm happy to move some out for decent offers. A Panasonic audio remote. This is from the Remote Vacation buy, $14.99 on that one. A bunch of used blank Maxell XL290s and TDK SA90 tapes. Those tapes are usually the higher end ones. They have the better outputs and everything. If you buy them brand new, you can sell those great. I sold a bunch of used copies for a best offer of $60 shipped. These were from the Rock and Roll and the hip hop cassette buy. They were just a bunch of recordings on there. I sold them as blanks. You can't sell like the music on there and say the copyright issue and all that, but I sold them as blanks and they ended up selling for $60 shipped. Mr. Christmas, I've sold this 2 or 3 times now. It's like a little lighted little thing. The carriage guys go up and down, the horses or whatever, and the thing lights up and plays music. This one came from Storage Unit Guy. I think the last one did as well, but this one sold for $54 shipped. I tested it out, it did work, didn't have the box or anything. It's kind of a little pain because all these little things are connected via wire, so when you pack it up, you got to be careful, but ended up getting $54 shipped. It cost us like $14 or something to ship it, I believe it was, and I'm happy with that. Dance and the Vampire, a manga lot. This was a lot of 1 through 11, or volumes 1 through 11. I think it sold to Australia via global shipping for 70 shipped. I got a brown bag full of manga. There were 2 sets in there. It was on offer up $10, so I bought it. She had 4 other sets that had sold already for $10 each. They all would have been great buys. I was surprised one person even left this one, and I was just happy to get it because I sold the other set I think for 50 or 60 bucks, and then this one for 70. So great deal there. I love selling the manga, especially if you can get multiple volumes. Some of them can do really well. This is the 1990s Los Angeles Raiders. It's like a sweatshirt here. It's by The Game. This thing is definitely got a lot of that vintage fade that some people like. It also had a bunch of not so great stains on the collar from sweat. So the person who wore it definitely got a little hot, I guess, because there was a bunch of sweat stains on the collar. I picked it up, I think for $2 at a garage. So I just thought it looked cool. Still kind of had that nice vintage kind of look, I guess, and I figured there's a Raiders fan out there who would want it. This one ended up selling on the best offer for 33 shipped. I think I shipped it in a padded flat rate. But yeah, I don't mind a little bit of vintage wear. That's okay with me. I think a lot of people will still wear it because they want that style. Here's a Samsung remote from the same buy. This one sold for $12. All those remotes, again, going out first class. I just put them in a little bubble wrap and then put them in a bubble mailer, and they're on their way. My last Kyocera Duramax rugged phone, I had 5 of these. 4 sold for 30 like this one, and 1 sold for 25. I spent 60 on the lot of them, plus I got a bunch of other phones in there as well that have sold off. You probably have seen them in past videos. A cast iron lid. This is a number 8. It's unmarked. Look out for the lids to the cast irons. If it's unmarked and it's the right size, some people will still buy them. I got 49 on this. Sometimes I've put the lid up there and I put unmarked, and someone's messaged me the last time I had one and told me what brand it was. And they said, oh, this actually is a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And then ended up selling anyways, but they kind of gave me some information so I could update my listing. That person didn't buy it, but they still kind of contributed their knowledge. So it's worth selling the unmarked ones, because even if someone has a Griswold or a Wagnerware or something like that, and they just want a lid for it, or maybe they have a Lodge one even, they just want a lid, they may pay for the lid just to have a lid for their pot. So definitely worth looking out for. Here's a Jada Toys, a Mazda RX-7 diecast car. I spent $20 on a bunch of diecast cars from one of my stores. I wasn't even sure if it was a great deal. There were a couple of muscle machines I think they sold either in this video or the last one. They sold like 45. Those were where I thought the value was. I didn't know how much on these guys, but this diecast sold for $30 and it sold within a day. It's a 124 scale Mazda RX-7. The Screenwriter's Bible, this was $1. This is a textbook here. It sold for 20 shipped. Was used, but not too much wear. 1998-99 Honda Civic GX supplement manual. This is kind of a supplement to the main manual you would buy for the factory service manual. It has some extra information in there, and kind of it's more brief, I guess. It has some of the stuff that the other one missed, or I guess got excluded. This one sold for 20 shipped on a best offer. Had it listed at 35, but the buyer gave me kind of a story about how he wanted to fix up one of his old cars, so we let him have it. A Toyota Hilux truck factory chassis manual. This is one of those old ones. Again, had it listed at 30, took a best offer of 16 just to get those manuals out of here. A Soda Stream. This goes credit to my grandmother-in-law. Her name's Karen, so she's wonderful, and she, in her community that she's in, they were having an estate sale next door to her, so she let me know, and I went in there, and I found a ton of stuff. It was a great deal. Got this Soda Stream, and it was $25, I think I paid $12.50 for it, because I think it was half off, and it ended up selling for $70 shipped. It cost us like $16 or something to ship at FedEx, I think it was. Definitely happy with that, and it sold right away. So I've done really well with Soda Streams in the past. All the ones I've gotten were brand new. I've never sold a used one. I don't even know if they sell, but maybe they do. Here's a Victoria's Secret Bare Attitude Minimal B Cup Beige like cover things, I guess adhesives. I got these. They were brand new. The packaging is actually there. The photo got mixed up, and this is the one where it was open to show that everything was in there, but I have the little plastic sleeve that came with it. This was one I bought from Storage Unit Guy. I actually listed it, and it sold for 9 shipped. I don't know if I would probably buy a ton of these, but I figured I'd show it just because I was like, I'll see if it sells, and it ended up finally selling for 9. So, anywho, Funline muscle machines. Oh, here are the muscle machines. I just mentioned these with the RX-7. These were in there. This is why I paid the 20, because I knew I had some value in these guys. They sold for 45 shipped. Again, pretty quick. So we already had, $75 for our $20, and we have a couple more cars that'll sell over the next couple weeks. You should see them. We got a California Raisins, a Beach Club shirt. I paid, I think, $7.50. I got 2 of these, 2 different ones. They were brand new with tag, but they had stains on them, and I couldn't really get them out with like the Tide pen or whatever, so ended up selling this one for 20 on the best offer. Free shipping, it goes first class. So we still made money. The other one I think sold for 32 or 33, so ended up being a good deal, but if it didn't have the stains, I might have got closer to that $40-$45 mark. I think it would have been possible. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles factory sealed VHS here. This one, I had a lady offering, I think it was a lady based on the name, but offering me $25, $26, up to like $28. I really wanted 34 because I saw they were selling, so I kind of was a little greedy and hold firm, and then I think I countered with 29 and she declined it. And I was like, you know what, whatever, someone will buy it. And someone came through and bought it full price, 45 shipped. I love when that happens, because sometimes you're like, man, maybe I missed out on that sale. In this case, it turned out that I didn't, because the right buyer came through for me at least and paid the 45 bucks. This was $1 VHS, I believe, at a Salvation Army or something. So some of the VHS do sell well. An Aroma bread maker pan here. This is the ABM 230 model. Again, I told you guys I part out the bread makers. At least the pan and the paddle you should part out. I actually listed my first like door to the top of the lid or whatever to the bread maker. I listed that, so I'm gonna start listing a few of those just to see. This one was pretty easy to unassemble, and we'll see if they sell. I know one of my friends, Andy the Parrot Picker, has sold one before. I never have because I never took the time, but I wanted to try it out and see how it goes. A Royal Flush wrap cassette took a best offer of 15, shipped on this one. The Haunted Honeymoon, this is like a horror VHS. It came from I got a bunch of horror stuff a while back. They were all VHS. Not all of them were the valuable ones, though. There were a couple that were. A lot of them were just not too great. That one sold for 10, shipped. Lord of the Rings, the motion picture trilogy. This little box set doesn't have the little sleeve that they all fit in, but it's all for 30, shipped. I've passed this over so many times. I actually paid $6 for this set, or 6 or 7. And from the aunt of one of the guys I buy from, his aunt was having a sale next to him, and I bought it from her, and she would not come down on the price, but I ended up selling it for 30, shipped. It went out media mail, but I've passed on this set a bunch of times. I won't anymore. I didn't think it had this kind of value, but it's been selling pretty well. At least 25 shipped on it, so it might be something to keep an eye out for. Skillet Unleashed, I got this hat for $1. I believe it's Skillet the band. I ended up selling for $30 on a best offer, which I was happy with that. 1975 Chrysler Dodge Plymouth chassis and body manual. This one sold for $24, shipped on sale. Was not super desirable, but I got $24 out of it. Media mail shipping was probably still $4 or $5 on it. Plenty of money there for profit, especially because we've already made a bunch of money on the manual stuff. 2 Joy-Con. These are the wrist straps that go to the Joy-Con Nintendo Switch controllers. I was at a sale, and this guy had the box of the Joy-Con controller and everything in there, but there was nothing in it but these. He ended up selling to me for $1. He wanted something for it, and I ended up selling these for 10, shipped. They sold really quickly, though, so I was happy. Busilla or whatever, Christmas Santa and Elves, like a little plastic candy dish set. This little kit sold for $12.79, free shipping, so not a whole lot. I've known on these cross stitch and little patterns and stuff, usually you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 shipped on average. Some of them are like 25 and all that, and there's some that are 40, 50, up to 100, but most are going to fall in that kind of lower range. So don't expect too much on them unless you know you have something really unique. A pair of Troy Lee Designs, size 44, like off-road, like motorcycle or whatever pants, motocross pants. They sold for 50, shipped. I paid $5 for them. They had a couple of marks on them, but for the most part, they were in really good shape. Those may have cleaned up with the wash or whatever. I didn't wash them, but sold them for 50, shipped. Anna Gabriel, a lot of 5 cassettes. These were from a bunch of I don't know, shouldn't they have Spanish-speaking artists? I don't know if she's whatever Latin American country she's from or whatever, but I ended up selling these for 22, shipped on a best offer. My title says Me Mexico, so maybe she's from Mexico. I'm not sure, but they were all different artists that all seem to have some kind of Spanish background, and I lotted them up into different lots, and they've actually sold pretty well. This one sold for 22, shipped. I think I have 1 lot left. This is like a fairy from the big fairy buy where the guy kind of wanted to get in my face when I made a big pile of stuff. I bought it from Storage Unit Guy. Long story short, this old man there was trying to dig through my pile, and I politely told him, no, you can't have any of this stuff. I've already got this, and I'm going to make the deal. He went over to the Storage Unit Guy and said, hey, I don't care. I've known you longer. Let me pick out of his pile first. Storage Unit Guy came to me, and I said, that's not going to happen. Like, then let's make a deal on it now. If we can't make the deal, you can sell to him, but I want first shot at it. I'm the one who dug it all up. I spent the hour here looking for stuff. I'm not going to give it to him, and he just takes it and leaves. And the guy was kind of saying some stuff off to me, kind of got in my face a little bit after that, you know, trying to like intimidate me, like I didn't have enough money to maybe spend it, or I wasn't on his league or whatever. But we came away with it all. We spent $1,200 that day. It was a ton of these fairies, a bunch of Disney, those Walt Disney Classic Collection things or whatever they are. And then this is one of the fairies that sold for $65 shipped. I had like 12 fairies. They're all going to sell for $60 to $75 each. All the Disney stuff sold for $700 or $800. Plus we got, you know, a Hurricanes jacket that sold for $100. A bunch of other stuff. I think we listed like 6,000. But of course with offers and stuff, we're probably going to sit around that $4,000 mark when it's all said and done in sales. So wasn't like amazing where it's like I'm going to get like make a ton of money back and it was the best deal ever. But that guy also knows, I guess, that I kind of felt like I maybe got a little too my ego involved because I didn't want him buying my stuff. So maybe I paid a little more than I normally would, but that's okay. It still ended up being a good deal. So no one's perfect. Either way, this one sold for $65 shipped. But that's it, guys. I know I've kept you too long. It's already 21 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.